Shalom, everyone. I'd like to make it online tonight. As you know, tonight is the Feast of Simon, Day of Simon. And we're going to read the history concerning it. All right? I know it's a weekday, people are going to work, so we're going to try to be brief, not too brief, but, go to the history. All right, of our forefathers. So we're going to start with chapter 1 Maccabees 13 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together.
So who's Simon? Let's see who's been reading. Rabba, who's Simon?
Simon is Jonathan's younger brother.
Okay, but who's more?
From Matthias, his father.
Very good, Matthias, his son. All right, Matthias had 5 sons, and this is one of them, Simon. All right, real quick before we go, let's go to chapter 1 real quick. The history on Simon. Since it's the day of Simon, we might as well learn about him. Briefly, 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1.
1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Matthias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin. And he had 5 sons, Joanan, called Cadus.
So Matthias, had 5 sons. Joanan, called Cadus, go ahead.
Simon, called Thassi. Judas, who was called Maccabeus. Eleazar, called Avaron, and Jonathan, whose surname was Apphus.
All right, so Matthias had 5 sons. Okay? And what we're focusing on tonight is Simon, who's called Thassi. All right, at the side. Let's go back to 13 again. No, I'm sorry. Let's see what their skills were. Maccabees 2. When Matthias died, he gave them all instructions on who will be in charge.
1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the Lord.
So this is Matthias giving his sons charge before his death. Okay, because Matthias is on his way out. So he's giving his sons instructions on what they should do when he leaves the world. Go ahead.
For by it shall ye obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
So Simon was a man of counsel. He was the wise among the brothers, the wise one. Go ahead.
Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
Being a leader unto you. So the parents, our forefathers had understanding on which child to choose. They knew their child's spirit. They knew this child was the wise one. This child was the strongest one. He had their spirit. So likewise the child. You have kids. You got to know your child's spirit and know how to deal with them based on that spirit. In this situation, Matthias knew that Simon had wisdom. He had a leadership skills. Okay? Go ahead.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he had been mighty and strong, even from his youth up.
So Maccabeus always showed that he was a strong young man. He was a strong one, the tough one. Some of y'all got family like that. Some of y'all have family who you got a tough one in your family, a cousin or a nephew that's tough. They know how to fight. You understand? Maccabeus had that skill. He could fight. He was a fighter. Simon was a smart one. He was the brains, and Maccabees was the brawn. He was smart as well, but Simon was the wisest one. Go ahead.
Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
So his job is to be the captain, the fighter of the family. Go ahead.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
So he said, take ye all those that observe the law. So the company you keep are those that observe the laws. Those are your friends. Those are your companions. Those that observe the law. And this truth is a battleground. This truth is a war. All right? So you must make sure that you choose those for the war who are what's the word? Acceptable. All right? And keep these commandments. Go ahead.
Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the Lord.
Go ahead.
So he blessed them, and was gathered to his fathers.
Go ahead.
And he died in the 146th year. And his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his father at Modin. And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
So he passed away. So now, let's go to Simon now. 13 again. Now we're dealing with Simon now. He's dead. He's dead by now. Judas died by this time.
Yep.
So now Simon's in charge. Go ahead.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah. Stop from verse 3.
First Maccabees chapter 13 verse 3. And gave them exhortation, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, the battles also and troubles which we have seen.
So he's reminding them how they fought the battles for Israel. They were always fighting for their people. And he's reminding them, he's trying to encourage them. Because this Greek named Tryphon is coming against us. And our people would ordinarily catch fear. So it was Simon's job to take his brother's place. Remember, Judas is gone. So he had to keep them in good spirits, keep them strong, keep them encouraged, and not be fearful. Because the fighter, the strongest of them, was gone. So Simon said, listen, remember how me and my brothers fought for y'all. So don't catch any spirits. All right, so it says exhortation, meaning encouragement. He was building them up. Go ahead.
Verse 4. By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone.
So at this point, he's by himself. He's the last man standing. Because all of them got killed. One by it was 5 of them, all of them got killed one by one. Go ahead.
Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
So he's saying, listen, I'm not afraid. I'm not going to sit here and walk up and not fight the battle for Israel. To survive, if they all die, I'm going to die too. So this man was not nothing to be played with. He was not weak and scared. He was a fighter as well. But he was the wisest of them. Go ahead.
Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children.
So Simon, our forefathers were always for the defense of the laws and their people and their wives and their children. They were family men in the Bible. Don't let no one fool you into thinking otherwise. These were family men also. They knew when to deal with family and when to deal in times of war. In this situation, with spiritual warfare. We deal with the spiritual warfare and we deal with family. Okay? Wives, it says, read again from the top.
Verse 6. Doubtless I will avenge my nation.
And I will fight for my nation against the Greeks. Go ahead.
And the sanctuary. And our wives. And our children.
And our wives and our children. Go ahead.
And all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
So these heathen are gathered together to destroy us for evil and wish ill will upon us, to hurt us, to harm us, our wives, and our children. Go ahead.
Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
See that? Why is it saying that? Why is it saying spirit revived? What do you mean faint-hearted? We don't use any type of word. Yeah, thank you. You were scared. You were afraid. The people were afraid because Judas, all his brothers, understand. All the mighty men of the Mattathias line were killed off. Simon was the last man standing, so they were still like, listen, if all your brothers are going to die, you might die too. He had to build them up. Their spirits were dead. He had to revive them because they were getting fearful. Yeah. Read it again.
They had Jonathan hostage at this point.
Yeah, they had Jonathan hostage at this point. He said, read verse 4, because he knew something. Verse 4.
First Maccabees chapter 13, verse 4. By reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone.
Because Jonathan was held prisoner, he knew he wasn't going to get him back. He knew Jonathan was gone. He was going to be killed too. He knew it. That's why he said, I'm alone. Because Jonathan wasn't dead at this point. He was kidnapped, but he knew, I'm not getting him back.
Right. He's
going to die too. The people are scared. Jonathan's kidnapped. 3 of them are dead. He's last man standing. So people were shook. They were afraid. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Now therefore be it far from me that I should spare mine own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren.
I mean, I'm willing to die for them. I'm willing to die also, just like they did for you. Go ahead.
Doubtless I will avenge my nation, and the sanctuary, and our wives, and our children. For all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very malice.
A very evil intent. Go ahead.
Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived.
They felt better. So okay, he's not fearful. He's going to fight for us. There's someone left. Go ahead.
And they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas and Jonathan thy brother.
So they realized what he was saying about Jonathan. You'll be a leader instead of Jonathan, because Jonathan wasn't coming back. He was not coming back. Go ahead.
Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commanded us, thou wilt do.
That will we do.
That will we do.
Go ahead.
So then he gathered together all the men of war, and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem. And he fortified it round about. Also he sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great power to Joppe, who casting out them that were therein remained there in it.
Go ahead.
So Tryphon removed from Ptolemaeus with a great power to invade the land of Judea, and Jonathan was with him in war.
Because Tryphon had kidnapped Jonathan. He was coming to attack us while he held Jonathan hostage. Tryphon's a Greek general. Go ahead. 13.
Verse 13. But Simon pitched his tents as at Adida, over against the plain.
Go ahead.
Now when Tryphon knew that Simon was risen up instead of his brother Jonathan, and meant to join battle with him, he sent messengers unto him, saying, Whereas we have Jonathan thy brother in hold, it is for money that he is owing unto the king's treasure, concerning the business that was committed unto him.
So when Tryphon got word that Simon was coming to fight him, he said, listen, understand. We have your brother held here because he owes the king some money. But it was all a lie. It was all a scam. Okay, deceit. Go ahead.
Wherefore now send 100 talents of silver, and 2 of his sons for hostages.
He said, send 100 talents of silver and give me 2 of his sons. Go ahead.
That when he is at liberty, he may not revolt from us, and we will let him go.
Meaning, give us 100 talents of silver and his 2 sons, so that way he'll pay us back. We'll hold them as a ransom. We'll hold them until he pays us the full debt. But it was once again, it was all a lie. Go ahead.
Hereupon Simon, albeit he perceived that they spake deceitfully unto him, yet sent he the money and the children, lest peradventure he should procure to himself great hatred of the people.
Why is it saying that? Why is it saying that? Hatred of people?
People would think that if he doesn't pay the ransom along with the children, that will cause the death of Jonathan.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's saying. He's saying I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. If I don't pay the money, they're going to think that I caused them to kill him. If I do pay the money, they're going to kill him regardless. They'll kill all of them. So now he's stuck now. He's like, damn, this is a really hard decision. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Who might have said, because I sent him not the money and the children, therefore is Jonathan dead.
And that's what he was thinking. If I don't send the money to people are going to say, see, if it wasn't for you, he'd still be alive. You should have sent it. Go ahead.
So he sent them the children and the 100 talents. Howbeit Tryphon dissembled, neither would he let Jonathan go.
Ripped them off. Took the money, kept the money and the children, and kept Jonathan also. Go ahead.
And after this came Tryphon to invade the land, and destroy it, going round about by the way that leadeth unto Adora. But Simon and his host marched against him in every place, wheresoever he went.
Meaning wherever he went to attack the city, we were there, guarding. We were well fortified. Go ahead.
Now they that were in the tower sent messengers unto Tryphon, to the end that he should hasten his coming unto them by the wilderness, and send them victuals.
We sent food. Go ahead.
Wherefore Tryphon made ready all his horsemen to come that night. But there fell a very great snow, by reason whereof he came not. So he departed, and came into the country of Gilead.
Gilead. Go ahead.
Gilead. And when he came near to Bascama, he slew Jonathan, who was buried there.
So he killed Jonathan. He got close enough, he killed Jonathan, and he buried him there. Go ahead.
Afterward, Tryphon returned and went into his own land.
Killed Jonathan and went back home. Go ahead.
Then sent Simon and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried them in Modin, the city of his fathers.
He found out where he was buried, and he took him out and buried him with his father and his brothers. Go ahead.
And all Israel made great lamentation for him, and bewailed him many days. Simon also built a monument upon the sepulchre of his father and his brethren, and raised it aloft to the site with hewn stone behind and before.
So like a tombstone. His names before, and names written in the front, and names written in the back. For people to see. Go ahead.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
So show we had knowledge to build the pyramids. It was not used for paganism. The Egyptians used our skill and said, we're going to build. It was a grave area. Those are grave sites. So the pyramids are tombs. But the Egyptians said, oh, I'm a guy, started deifying themselves and made it something else. It was built as a grave site. Okay, so we knew how to build pyramids. He brought that skill to Egypt. Go ahead.
And in these he made cunning devices, about the which he set great pillars, And upon the pillars he made all their armor for a perpetual memory. And by the armor ships carved, that they might be seen of all that sail on the sea. This is the sepulchre which he made at Modin, and it standeth yet unto this day. Now Tryphon dealt deceitfully with the young king Antiochus, and slew him.
He killed King Antiochus, not the one you're talking about. It's one of his great grandkids. Go ahead.
And he reigned in his stead, and crowned himself king of Asia, and brought a great calamity upon the land. Then Simon built up the strongholds in Judea, and fenced them about with high towers, and great walls, and gates, and bars, and laid them up victuals therein. Moreover, Simon chose men, and sent to King Demetrius to the end he should give the land an immunity.
Meaning that a land of peace. Immunity means that he was going to have a treaty with another Greek. Okay? With Demetrius. Go ahead.
Because all that Tryphon did was to spoil.
Meaning all Tryphon did was to steal and rob, conquer and plunder. Go ahead.
Unto whom King Demetrius answered and wrote after this manner. King Demetrius unto Simon the high priest, and friend of kings, as also unto the elders and nation of the Jews, sendeth greeting. The golden crown and the scarlet robe which ye sent unto us, we have received, and we are ready to make a steadfast peace with you, yea, and to write unto our officers to confirm the immunities which we have granted. And whatsoever covenants we have made with you shall stand, and the strongholds which ye have builded shall be your own.
So now he made a covenant with Demetrius. He's using wisdom. He's using another Greek who has power to side with him against another Greek. So Tryphon can't overpower him. Go ahead.
Verse 39. As for any oversight or fault committed unto this day, we forgive it. And the crown tax also, which ye owe us. And if there were any other tribute paid in Jerusalem, it shall no more be paid.
She's saying for this covenant, we're gonna forget everything. All the wrongs of the past between us, we'll forget it. So for this covenant. Go ahead.
And look who are meet among you to be in our court. Let them be enrolled, and let there be peace betwixt us. Thus the yoke of the heathen was taken away from Israel in the 170th year.
So I mean the Greeks coming against them is stopped. There was a lot of Greeks, not just Tryphon, many Greeks coming against them. But this one, he said, okay, now we made a treaty with this group. Is less battling, less war now. It's more peace now. We have less enemies. Go ahead.
Verse 42. Then the people of Israel began to write in their instruments and contracts. In the first year of Simon the high priest, the governor and leader of the Jews. In those days Simon camped against Gaza and besieged it round about. He made also an engine of war and set it by the city, and battered a certain tower and took it.
So at this point in time, Simon is still going to war. He's conquering. Go ahead, fighting against the Greeks. Go ahead.
And they that were in the engine leaped into the city, whereupon there was a great uproar in the city.
Sorry, the engine, you may remember what the engine is. The engine is like Lord of the Rings, where they had the battering ram hitting the door. Boom, boom. Then it would go in. The thing would open up, they come out of the battery, and they were going to the city. That's what it is. That's the engine of war is. All right, Lord of the Rings, that movie's based on what the scriptures is talking about, like the elephants carrying the people. That's all in here. That's the war of the Maccabees. That's going into. A lot of that Lord of the Rings stuff comes out of Maccabees. A lot, you read it, elephants, they fed them certain things to make them lose the they call them something berries. The elephants will go crazy and they will start fighting. They had to fight. Remember, Eleazar stabbed one of them, and it fell on top of them. It was the same thing. So the engine of war is going into when it would be a battering ram. It would hit, knock the door down. They would run inside, like the Trojan horse. Thank you, like Troy, just like that. Except they was in the battering ram. All right, go ahead.
Verse 45. And so much as the people of the city rent their clothes and climbed upon the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, beseeching Simon to grant them peace.
So the heathens' families are begging us for mercy, because he was overthrowing these heathens. Go ahead.
And they said, deal not with us according to our wickedness, but according to thy mercy.
Now they want peace now. Go ahead.
So Simon was appeased toward them, and fought no more against them, but put them out of the city, and cleansed the houses wherein the idols were, and so entered into it with songs and thanksgiving.
That was our land. Okay, that was our land that they had fortified for themselves, and we kicked them out of there. Okay? And we were happy after that. We celebrated. Go ahead.
Verse 48. Yea, he put all uncleanness out of it, and placed such men there as would keep the law, and made it stronger than it was before, and built therein a dwelling place for himself. They also of the tower in Jerusalem were kept so straight that they could neither come forth nor go into the country, nor buy nor sell. Wherefore they were in great distress for want of victuals, and a great number of them perished through famine. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted
Because
them.
what happened was, he's put sanctions on them, where they couldn't get out and they couldn't come in. They were starving. So he said, please, please, because remember, this is our land. We're taking our land back, a portion of Jerusalem back. So Simon surrounded them where they couldn't get any food to come in, or food out, or anything, or leave. So he was starving them out. So they said, okay, please have mercy on us. Okay? He started pressing them. All right? So they begged for mercy once again. Go ahead.
And when he had put them out from thence, he cleansed the tower from pollution, and entered into it the 23rd day of the 2nd month, in the 171st year, with thanksgiving and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols, and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy out of Israel.
So Simon put in a lot of work. Okay, he managed to get us peace in the land for that period of time, and we got more of our land back from the heathens. Okay, that defiled our land with their dumb idols. Go ahead.
He ordained also that the day should be kept every year with gladness.
He ordained that what? Read again.
Verse 52. He ordained also that that day should be kept every year with gladness.
Go ahead.
Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was. And there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John his son was a valiant man, he made him captain of all the hosts, and dwelt in Gazara.
All right. So at the end, he made his son a captain, like his brother was. Okay, John. Now, let's go back to verse 6 again.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
First Maccabees chapter 13, verse 6. Doubtless I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children, for all the heathen are gathered to destroy us of very mouth.
So I'm going back to that point because, again, during warfare, our forefathers were warriors, and they took care of their family. Okay? To show that the mindset never changed. This is before the Maccabees.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 13. Therefore set I in the lower places behind the wall, and on the higher places I even set the people after their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows.
Because during this time, we were rebuilding Jerusalem. We were getting it back. Kind of like what happened with the Maccabees. They were rebuilding what was destroyed by the Greeks. During this time, we were building what the Babylonians destroyed. Okay? And the enemies, we were given liberty to rebuild Jerusalem back. And the heathen got word of it and were trying to come against us. So we, while we're trying to build, had to arm ourselves to defend ourselves while building at the same time. Read the next verse.
Verse 14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord.
Remember, so he's saying the same thing that Maccabees said, Simon said. He's saying, he's building them up, exhorting them. Read again.
And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses.
See that? So it's the same spirit. That spirit never changed. Our people always were there for their family, for their people. There was no the hell with the women or the hell with the children. That's not in the Bible. It's not in there. Okay, our forefathers were warriors, and they knew what was important. Okay.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 43.
Now this is going into, who is this? This is Judas. Yep. This is when Judas started fighting. That's what he said. Remember, Simon said the same thing. Nehemiah said the same thing. Now we're going to go into what Judas said. Okay?
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary.
See what they said? Let us restore the decayed estate of our people. Why does it say decayed estate of our people? Because they were destroyed by the Greeks. A lot of them were following the Greek customs. A lot of them we were poor, hungry, thirsty, because they robbed us clean, took our land over. So he said, let's restore what was destroyed. The same mindset must be on us today. Let us restore the decayed estate of our people. Read again.
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary.
Now we're not doing this, no longer we're doing this physically, we're doing it spiritually now. Jump up to verse 55.
And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands, and over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s.
So these are the deacons, these are the officers. He's setting up structure now, order and structure amongst us. To do what? To restore the decayed state of our people. Because to do that, you have to set up structure and order. Go ahead.
But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful.
Or were what?
Or were fearful.
Or were fearful. Go ahead.
Those he commanded that they should return, every man to his own house, according to the law.
So if you were fearful of that, he said, stay home. Don't bother coming. We don't need your help. Those of you who got married, who are building homes, planting vineyards, you are working, you have work to do, or are scared, you stay home. This truth has no room for fearful people. None whatsoever, at all. Our job is to go to war spiritually against 2 Corinthians 10, verse 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
So read verse 4 again. Read verse 4, I'm sorry. 4 again.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Weapons of our warfare are not carnal. I mean, we're not fighting a physical battle. As in the swords or guns or knives, none of that. No terrorist activity going on in here. No bombs. None of that necessary. Read again.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
They're not carnal. Go ahead.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
The mighty through God means his words, his commandments, his Bible. Go ahead.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
The people who are in this condition are in a what? Decayed estate. They're in a decayed estate at this point. That's why we got cast down their imaginations. We gotta bring down every high thing that exalts itself against God and the knowledge of God, against His Bible, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of His Bible. Because they're obeying the other nations. They're obeying America, religion, politics, foolishness. So their minds are going to remain decayed until then. Go ahead.
And having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
So you'll be ready to do that when your obedience is fulfilled. Because many will say, that's just talk. Oh, that's talk. A lot of people say that. Let's get 1 Corinthians 1. Nah, all you guys do is talk. Well, the Most High's word does the work. 1 Corinthians 1, verse 18.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 18. For the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness.
So to us preaching this Bible, to them that are going to die, it's foolishness. That Bible stuff. To them who are going to die, us preaching this word is foolishness to them. Go ahead.
But unto us which are saved, it is the power of God.
See that? But unto us who are saved in this truth, repented, it is the power of God. That's what helps us do what? Go into warfare. Tear down imaginations. Bring our people into obedience of Christ. Go ahead.
For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
That's what Simon did, physically. Our job is to do that spiritually. That's our job. Go ahead.
Where is the wise? Where is the scribe?
Where's the wise? Go ahead.
Where is the disputer of this world? Hath not God made foolish the wisdom of this world?
See that? Because the wisdom of this world is nonsense. If you go against any politician or any of these so-called civil rights leaders or pastors, we'll destroy them. We'll shut them down. What the hell are you talking about? We'll make them look like fools. That's why it says, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? I mean, the teacher. Where is the spirit of this world? Who can fight for this world and justify the actions of this world? No one. Because it's against the Bible. And it says, have not God made the foolish the wisdom of this world? For this world's wisdom is nonsense. A lot of our people, they boast in this foolishness. Gay rights, they boast in that. Sports, hip-hop, they boast in that. It's garbage. There's no wisdom in any of that. None. Go ahead.
For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God.
The world by wisdom does not know God. What wisdom? Wisdom of this world, which is foolishness. They do not know God. This world teaches them to do what? Go against God, or that there is no God. Period. Go ahead.
It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching.
See that? It pleased God by the what?
The foolishness of preaching.
It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching. Meaning to us, we look like fools. Them Negroes is crazy out there preaching that Bible stuff. We look like fools to them. Okay, go ahead.
To save them that believe.
See that? But it says to save them that believe. Our job is to go out there and save them that are going to believe. So to those who think this word is foolishness, they're not believers. They're meant to be destroyed. But to those who believe, or those of you, those who are in here who are online, okay? Give me 1 Corinthians 15, last verse. Because to some, this is just talk. Because, it's just talk. You Negroes, this is running your mouth. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 58.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
That's what we're supposed to do. Read it again.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Stand strong in this truth. Don't go nowhere. Don't be scared, fearful. Otherwise, you stay home. That's what steadfast means. Go ahead.
Unmovable.
Unmovable. Not fearful. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have doubts. Am I really Israel? I might be white. That's you movable. Something wrong with you. Go ahead.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Always remaining in this Bible. Not in sports, not in hip-hop, politics, religion, but abounding in the what? The work of the Lord. Go ahead.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
See that? Your labor is not in vain. Your labor does not go in vain. The Most High's word is going out whether you believe it or not. Whether you see it or you don't see it, it is getting done. The work is getting done. People are calling us from all over the world, Canada, or out of state, or in-state, or out of the country. The word is not going out void. It's getting done. That's why we're trying to get ourselves on television programs to get this truth out there. Push it, God, push. Press toward the mark. Okay, against crazy odds. Because the wicked outnumber the righteous. The wicked outnumber the righteous tenfold. All right, Ephesians. It says to them that perish, foolishness. Because to us standing outside, a bunch of so-called niggas standing outside with funny clothes on, teaching the Bible. Niggas like this. This is madness. We're jokes to them. Just like to the Greeks. The Greeks had thousands, hundreds upon thousands in their military. Somehow, 1,000? There was crazy odds against them, and they still won. 1 Corinthians 4:9.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that God has set forth us, the apostles, last.
The last, because if you remember in history, there were many movements prior to Israelites. You had, during Israelites, but you had the SNCC, you had the Panthers, you had the Green Berets, you had many movements that were out there at first. Many black people trying to fight abolitionists. You had many movements going on amongst black folks that were trying to get things moving, get our so-called civil rights or privileges. I call them civil privileges. All right, and the Israelites were seen as nothing. Muslims out there. They was bringing this. They was out there pushing their doctrine, trying to build Israel up. But it fell. At the end of it, it was nothing. It was gone. It was done. Okay, read again.
1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that God hath set forth us, the apostles, last,
Yeah.
as it were appointed to death.
So the apostles are set up last. And their mission was going to lead them to death. A lot of them. Go ahead.
For we are made a spectacle unto the world.
We are made a what?
A spectacle unto the world.
What's that mean, a spectacle? We are made a spectacle unto the world. Bezalel.
They were made to look like outcasts, like a spectacle, like something that people make fun of.
Exactly. A mockery. We are made a spectacle unto the world. Go ahead.
And to angels.
Leaders.
And to men.
Like Sharpton. Sharpton mocked Officer Yan at school.
Right.
He mocked the hell out of him. Made the school laugh at him. Laughing to scorn. Okay, so it says we are made a spectacle unto the world and to angels, meaning not angels up there. We're not spectacle unto them. They see every damn thing. Not angels, it means leaders. Leaders. Go ahead. And to men.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
We are fools for Christ's sake.
See that? But we are fools for Christ's sake. You call us dumb. That's why I said earlier, the foolishness of preaching. It says we are fools for Christ's sake. We look stupid or like spectacles for Christ's sake. Go ahead.
But ye are wise in Christ.
But we are wise in Christ. Go ahead.
We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
See that? We are weak to those in the world. You niggas, man, please, that Bible. What you gonna do with that Bible? That's all talk. But it says you are strong. Yeah, read again, that verse 10 again.
We are fools for Christ's sake.
We are fools for Christ's sake. Go ahead.
But ye are wise in Christ.
But we are wise in Christ. Go ahead.
We are weak.
In the world, we're seen as weak. Go ahead.
But ye are strong.
But in the spirit, we're strong. Go ahead.
Ye are honorable.
We're honorable in the eyes of the Most High in Christ. Go ahead.
But we are despised.
We're the most hated thing on the earth. We're despised. Read on.
Even unto this present hour, we both hunger.
In this present hour, even in this present hour right now, we both hunger. Go ahead.
And thirst.
Uh-huh.
And are naked.
Oh, what that sound like? We both hunger and thirst and are naked. What's that mean? They walk around butt naked? You shall serve your enemies in what? Hunger? No, you missed it. And hunger, thirst, and in nakedness, and in one of all things. All right? That's what he's talking about. You're in captivity to this very day, Paul is saying. Read it again.
Even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst and are naked and are buffeted.
And eventually, guess what? People are going to fight us. We're going to be fought against. Don't be scared. Be buffeted means get beat up. Go ahead, jump. Go ahead.
And have no certain dwelling place.
You're going to maybe even be on a run. You're going to try to chase you out your house, get you kicked out. Don't be fearful. Go ahead.
And labor, working with our hands.
See that? That's why he said earlier, that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Read again.
And labor, working with our hand, with our own hands.
I mean, we have jobs. They had damn jobs. They worked. Go ahead.
Being reviled.
Being hated, spoken evil of. You're a cult. You're a bunch of crazy maniacs. Bible bullies, that's what they call us. Go ahead.
We bless.
We what?
We bless.
Being spoken evil against, we bless. We teach you anyway. Go ahead.
Being persecuted.
Being persecuted, locked up, killed. Go ahead.
We suffer it.
We have to. Go ahead.
Being defamed.
Oh, being what?
Defamed.
Spoken evil of. Being defamed. Go ahead.
We entreat.
We still teach y'all. Some of y'all here, it's like, them niggas is crazy. Now y'all crazy now. You are sitting here with us. That's a cult. Now you sitting here. I'm in a cult now. It's the same, that's what happened. We entreat y'all, now you're here. Okay, read it again.
Being defamed, we entreat.
Go ahead.
We are made as the filth of the world.
Wow. Niggas. Spits. We are made as the filth of the world. I'll give y'all a piece of that. Give me Jeremiah 42. Watch this. This is the word he uses. I like this word. Jeremiah 42, I think it's 18.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 42, verse 18. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as mine anger and my fury hath been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
For us breaking the commandments. Go ahead.
So shall my fury be poured forth upon you, when ye shall enter into Egypt.
Meaning what? Into slavery, into bondage. You'll land your captives. Go ahead.
And ye shall be an execration.
Execration. Look that word up. You shall be an execration. What's that word mean? This Bible uses some crazy words, man. You look at them words, you be like, wow, God said that about you? About us? Damn.
Execration, a detestable thing.
A what?
a detestable thing.
Go ahead.
The act of cursing. A curse dictated by violent feelings of hatred.
Wow.
Utter detestation expressed.
Utter detestation, right?
Yes.
I mean, utterly hated. We are detested. We are despised. Niggas. You see a nigga moving, they move out, they move away. They go to the neighborhood, they move. They don't like you. The nations don't like you. Most I said you are an execration. You got something?
Test
There?
utterly.
To hate utterly. Go ahead.
Abominate.
No, before that, there was something else.
Abhor.
Abhor means to hate. Go ahead.
To curse.
Abominate? You said something else.
Yeah, it said to detest utterly, abhor, abominate.
Abominate. I mean, you are an abomination. They don't even want to be around you. Sit around you, drink around you. That's why you have to fight for that. Fight for civil rights. Can I eat with you, white man? Can I drink with you? Can I go to your schools? Can I use your bathroom? Can I use your bathroom? That's execration. Go ahead.
To be damned and denounced.
Wow. To be what?
Damned and
Damned
denounced.
and damned?
Damned. D-A-M-N.
Oh, man, that's the word I'm looking for.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 25.
But earlier Maccabees, those that hate their own people. Remember that. Read.
In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
Our job in meekness means utter subjection to the Bible. Whatever it says, utter submission to the Bible. That's what meekness means. Read again.
In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
Our job is to teach those that hate themselves. Go ahead.
If God peradventure
If God perhaps, maybe, go ahead,
will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth.
God's will. If the Most High wants to, wake them up. Go ahead.
And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil.
That's our job. To recover them out of the what?
The snare of the devil.
So our job is to teach y'all that you may what? Read again at the top, verse 26. I missed something.
And that they may recover themselves.
Stop. You know what he said? Recover themselves. Our job is to teach you to acknowledge who you are according to the Bible and keep these commandments. Your job is to recover yourself after that. We can't do it for you. Some of y'all in here is like, oh man, you sure you saw the devil? I don't know. Because he didn't recover himself. He didn't recover himself. So he's out in the world again. Read again.
And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil.
That they may. I mean, it's a possibility they won't. That they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil. Go ahead.
Who are taken captive by him at his
Who are
will.
following his commandments, which is following America. Getting tossed around the flood, drowning in the flood. Jump to 3 verse 8 now.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 8.
Almost done.
Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses.
Those are them witches that turned their staffs into snakes that Aaron's staff ate up. This is their Greek names in Greek. Read again.
Now as Jannes and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth.
Our people who oppose themselves resist this truth. The defaming of many. Those who defame us are those who resist this truth. Go ahead.
Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith.
That's their problem. That's why to us, for them, we're a gazing stock. We're a spectacle to them. Because it says we're men of corrupt minds and reprobate, meaning void of understanding concerning the faith. Go ahead.
But they shall proceed no further.
But they shall proceed no further. Go ahead.
For their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
As those witches also were in Egypt. Likewise, the same way those witches are shown to be fake and phony and nothing, their power, their witchcraft was garbage. Likewise, this truth's going to be the same way. It's going to reveal all the evil of our people. Now they're going to repent or try to kill us in the process. And that's up to you to either you're going to deal with that or not.
Shalom, brothers, and shalom, sisters. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. As many of you are finding out, Christianity has destroyed our people. For the past 400 years, we have been indoctrinated in lies. Those lies of Christianity have not benefited our people in the least bit. Many of you know this. So, like Christ said in John chapter 3 verse 3, he said, except ye be born again, you shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So in order to inherit the kingdom of heaven which shall be established on earth, you must be born again. What does that mean? Many of you always quote that, but you don't understand what that means. When you go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 34, Ezra said, therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding, meaning subdue all that you have learned here in Babylon the Great, it says, and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive. What does that mean? Meaning you must be taught all over again, taught your nationality, taught why it is that we as a people went into slavery here in America. Who are we? What is the mystery of why this country, these nations have changed our nationality? We here at Israel United in Christ, we have classes 7 days a week, 3 times a day. All for what? For your learning, for your edification. You will learn things never taught to you before. You will learn history. You will learn prophecy. And more importantly, you will learn the dynamics of what you need today to survive as a people. 1/3 of Israel is prophesied to repent of their sins and come into this truth. So now we need you, brothers and sisters. Come, join us here at IsraelUnite.org. Go to our online classes and register. This is for you. This is for the redemption of the 12 tribes of Israel, brothers and sisters. I hope you understand that. Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6 says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. And brothers and sisters, we are not keeping silence. So come join us. Help us build this truth. Donate to us so that we can keep this truth on and on. Push it forward. Help us get this gospel out, because Christ said when this gospel is taught throughout the earth, then shall the end come. So with that, brothers and sisters, we say shalom.